We could talk about Liverpool. No, I'm kidding. I have my Liverpool shirt on.
We could talk about Liverpool. I mean, they beat the City, so they're looking like they're heading for the title.
Well, the score didn't look like it, but they controlled that match.
Yep.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Sports English Press Podcast. I have two guests today. Actually, I have a co-host today, Kirsten Waechter, as always. And coming in from Poland is our friend Rob Howard. Rob, his resume is very long, but I'll list some of the highlights. Facilitator of advanced professional, international, intercultural communication skills, trainer, speaker, author on business English and communication skills. Also is involved with the book sales at AIversusAuthors, and he'll talk about that today. Welcome in, Kirsten and Rob.
Hello, thanks.
Hi, Philip.
Hello, how's everybody doing over in Europe?
We're freezing.
Nah, Poland maybe. Germany's quite okay. So I think we have like 14 degrees at the moment, centigrade. So it feels a bit like spring's coming up.
Oh,
that's nice. So we tried to wave this over to Gdansk as well.
Yeah,
it's 4 degrees here. So
I just found out that Gdansk is a port city and cruise ships stop there. So a friend of mine told me he had gone on a cruise and went to Gdansk.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So Rob, I worked with you a few years ago, AIversusAuthors. I know that you work with the book sales there. Can you tell us about what you do there at AIversusAuthors and how people can get in touch with you and all that?
Well, it was back in 2017, I believe was the first year. We were looking for a way for independent authors and small publishing companies to be able to go to AIversusAuthors conferences, which is really the largest conference for English teachers outside of the United States, I would say. And the problem was that, as you know, anytime that you put any kind of conference together, you have to pay a lot of money to get a booth. And it was something that we, as a person who at that time had only written one book, couldn't afford. So I put together this group with my friend Dorothy Zemock and some others, which is the Independent Authors and Publishers. And it was a way to bring all of us together so we could collectively get a booth. And fortunately, when Kirsten did her book, what was that, 3 years ago? Kirsten? Yeah.
Wow.
3 years?
2.5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had Kirsten join us on the booth with your marvelous books. So it's a way of getting, your wonderful books, which is something that people need to see internationally, in the hands of actual teachers and decision makers.
Well, great. Now, are you finding that I'm being told that AI is destroying educational books? Have you seen any of that? Do you feel that have you seen any less people promoting books or selling books and book sales and things like that? Is AI going to really destroy books?
Well, in my opinion, which is just really anecdotal, from the book sale point of view, I think it will hurt somewhat for book sales because people have other sources of the information. Where I think it's really going to hurt the industry is I just saw an ad today. For $29, I can buy a software package where I just put in the title of a book and it'll write a 100-page AI book for me that I can sell online. So suddenly the market is going to be flooded with I hate to say it, but potential garbage.
Garbage. Yeah, exactly.
And
How thoroughly researched are those books, and how
exactly.
good is the content really?
Yeah, well, it does it all in 3 minutes for you, even the cover.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is what I think is going to hurt it the most. Kirsten, what do you think? You read, I don't.
I write as well. I think it depends. I think there's still something like, for example, niche products, and what AI can't do is the pedagogy. It can't do the teaching methods. And as you said, a lot of the content is garbage. And I use AI, of course, to prepare my own materials, but you find so many mistakes. So, and the time you spend then on reworking what it has produced,
Yes.
actually, I write a book in the same time because I know
Yes.
my topic, I know what activities work, and AI isn't very good at storytelling. And I think books work best if you have some kind of storytelling, if you engage people. And I
Yeah.
think who's going to be hurt is the publishers that sell general course books that try to please everybody, but you cannot use 50 or 60% of the general course book because it's too general. So you
Yeah.
need some AI tool or some writing tool to write up your own materials. But if you do niche course books, so if you cater to very specific, like business English or sports English or something like this, I think that works better because I'm not really sure how well ChatGPT understands soccer. I could ask it, or baseball for that, for example. Or what was your latest book about, Rob?
Well, last one was 1-to-1, and we I tried to do some research through AI just to see what it came up with. I didn't use any of it. It was
Yeah,
totally worthless. Because none of it was practical at all.
yeah,
And so yeah, I agree with you, Kirsten. It's
yeah,
the niche market is the way to go. General stuff, I think, is going to get hurt much faster, much more.
Yeah.
yeah.
When you think about, I could put out a graded reader in 3 minutes through AI, and then it's on the market. What about people who are really writing good graded readers?
It's
So,
called artificial intelligence, not human intelligence.
mhm.
Yeah. And it doesn't have the experience. So
Right.
I think like what you said in 1-to-1, that's the one you wrote with Andre?
With Andre, yeah.
Yeah. So I think what you brought it to this is actually tons and years of experience, all the
Hmm.
different kinds of learners, what can go wrong, which activities work, which activities don't work,
Exactly.
that you have to cater for different kind of learners in your book. So you
Hmm.
need good visuals, but you also need some nice audios, whatever. And I
Hmm.
think this is something AI can't do. It looks
Yeah,
at, it's been trained with standard textbooks.
yeah.
So it gives you standard textbooks, but it's just copying a lot of things. And
Sure.
so sometimes I find it very useful for the first draft,
Hmm.
or so it can give me some ideas, but I still have to check out what I want to use from it. And it could be that you say nothing. It could be you say, okay, so that's quite nice, and now I tweak
Hmm.
it. But then, of course, I start rewriting the content.
Hmm. Yeah, and the same thing, I do a lot of talks and I use it out of curiosity mostly when I'm putting together a PowerPoint presentation because it'll make a nice quick outline for me that I might use 50% of the outline. So it is a good tool for us as educators, but for learners, I'm not so sure.
Mm,
Well, I'm glad that we covered this topic because Kirsten and I talked with a publisher recently or a book distributor who was telling us that their book sales were down something like 900%. But people, you have to realize, because of AI, you have to realize AI is not a person, doesn't have the experience, can't do the storytelling, and doesn't know the content the way us authors do.
Mhm.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the context. I mean, Kirsten came up with these characters. In my book, I included people who were in the baseball business that
Mhm.
AI would not have included. It's just there's no comparison at all.
But believe me, the next time I have to transcribe tons of interviews with football managers where you don't even understand their English, like Pep Guardiola or somebody like this. His English is not really the best. Honestly, the pronunciation is a nightmare. AI will just save me tons of time because I feed it into AI and say, sum it up, clear it up, and then I can use it as a base for the audio. So
Well,
that is something
sure,
which I
it's a
will do in the
good
future.
aid. It's a good
Yep.
aid, but it should not be the primary author.
No, exactly.
Exactly.
I fully agree.
Yep.
Yep.
So, Rob, I see you have your Boston Bruins jersey on, or
Yeah.
sweatshirt, and the Patriots field behind you.
Yeah.
Sorry, they were the worst team in the league this year.
Well,
But you
you
beat
know,
my Jets. You did beat the New York Jets. Not saying
was
much, but
well, we thought we'd give the rest of the world a chance to win a Super Bowl
oh, I
in
see.
a game.
Okay.
It was a plan all
Yeah,
along.
yeah. Hmm.
When was the last time you've been in the final? Boston Bruins?
Oh, Boston Bruins?
Yeah.
Well, I think 2019 against the
Okay.
Blues, or no, maybe
Yeah.
was it the Blues, or did they win it
They
after
won.
that? Maybe
Yeah, they
after that.
won.
Let's see.
It was the year of Boston Strong, the bombing for the at the marathon. I can't remember the year, but we won basically everything. The Sox won, the Celtics won, the Bruins won. I think everything. I don't know. Being here in Poland, I don't see any hockey games. So
I know that last year or the year before, they had the best record, but they didn't go
we
that
didn't
far in the
win.
playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's see. Last time they won the cup was 2011. They
2011.
defeated,
Yeah.
the
So
Vancouver
we're due.
Canucks. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
Now that I have the sweatshirt, they'll win.
how popular was this? I can't remember the name of it, but instead of the All-Star break, they had the four teams in the NHL, four different countries, Canada, US, Finland, and Sweden play in that tournament, that round robin. Did it get a lot of traction in Europe? Not
Sweden,
really.
yes,
Yeah.
of course, because you see, to them, hockey is what football is in Germany. So
Mhm.
it's the most popular game. The Swedish and the Finns don't really care if they win anything in football. The most important thing is that Sweden beats Finland and vice versa. So I would say yes. So that definitely gets a lot of press coverage, something like this.
Four
So, but I
nations
don't
face off.
follow. Okay,
Yeah,
I
that was
don't
the
follow
name of it.
hockey that much
Hmm.
unless it's the Olympics, I have to say.
Which is next
So,
year in Milano.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
But that was actually, it was very, obviously it was going to be closely watched here, and you had two great matches between the US and Canada ultimately won it in overtime. I give a lot of
Yeah.
credit to that goalie who was bombarded in the beginning of the overtime, but great match and heated. The
Hmm.
first match I think they set a record. In the first 9 seconds of the match, there were three fights. The two Kachuk brothers, and then I forgot who else, but that was that was pretty wild.
That's what makes hockey a sport.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I thought I
yeah.
was watching the movie Slapshot.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've been looking for that online to watch it again,
yeah.
just for fun. Yeah, but don't worry. The U.S. team is acquiring the Canadian team next year, according
Oh, well,
to the new king. No,
I
don't
thought we were
go
going to
there.
stay
Don't
out of
go
the politics.
there. Yes, we
Yeah.
will. It was
But I think
just a good joke.
I think, but
But it did make its way in.
the headlines were pretty much about like, you want to buy us? Well, try hockey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Really. You heard a lot of jeers and boos during the national anthem.
Yeah,
But the
and
thing with
rightfully
that is
so.
people don't realize the Canadians were not booing the American national
Right.
anthem, really,
No,
or the
and the
Americans.
Americans know that.
Yeah, yeah. I hope they do,
Yeah,
but
I think they
some
do.
don't. So anyhow, it did turn into somewhat of a political event, sadly,
Yeah.
but it was great hockey. Great hockey.
Good.